Hey, what's up, everyone? Dragon here with,
Ashley?
and today we are going to react to the long-awaited for realsies trailer for Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the trailer that we have been waiting for 4 years. So, without further ado, let's check it out. Go, Millie.
Our world is changing. The mass extinction we feared has already begun, and we are the cause. We are the infection.
I mean, maybe run.
Yeah, you think?
God,
Wow.
go, 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 go,
Yeah,
go.
we waited way too long.
But like all living organisms, the Earth unleashed a fever to fight this infection. Its original and
Is that a
rightful
city?
rulers, the Titans. For thousands of years, these creatures have remained
That's-
around the world.
Wow.
And unless all the
He's
Titans are
fucking
found,
huge.
our planet will perish, and so will we. They are the only guarantee that life will carry on.
That is awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh, Rodan, yep, yep.
Goddamn mind. I am sorry, but this is the only way.
Ooh, golden electricity. You know who that is.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Godzilla right behind her.
Nice.
Jesus.
Long live the king.
God damn.
Well, that was incredibly satisfying.
That was way more epic than I thought it would be.
I feel like I should pay money for this trailer. Like, I was so good. So it definitely showed us a lot. It felt. I mean, I know this is kind of a Comic Con like kind of first trailer.
It's a damn good first
Yeah,
trailer.
but again, this movie has been in post production for about a year now. So usually films that are this far out, because it comes out next May, which is kind of a now we have to wait.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but usually films that are that far out don't have this much done. So I think Legendary is basically gearing this movie up or kind of positioning it to be like the biggest movie of the year. Which, based on that, I'm like, could very well be. So I think they're starting the hype train as early as possible, and from here on out, they're going to be rolling a lot of content out. They want this movie is meant to be more than just, I think, a sequel to the 2014 film. This is kind of meant to be like an event film, because it
Yeah.
almost doesn't even feel like it's in the same
No.
universe as the first
It
movie.
looks way cooler.
And I think a big part of that is that it is now written.
Titans.
I know, that's a cool name. I mean, it's basically they don't want to use the word kaiju because Pacific Rim did it in the West. A lot of people who think the word kaiju is more specific to Pacific Rim, even though kaiju is just what you call these giant monsters. But if we're not going to call them kaiju, Titan sounds cool because it makes you think of very kind of ancient times and old world, which is very much what they're playing up. Like,
Yeah.
these are kind of almost like gods kind of returning. It kind of reminds me a little bit of here's something you don't ever hear me talk about, the Primal Rage game, where like these big prehistoric beings that are gods kind of rise up and essentially destroy the world and are battling for supremacy. It just kind of feels like that on steroids, which I'm entirely okay with. But yeah, no, it looks good. They tweaked Godzilla a little bit. I noticed his spines have a few more edgings on it. It has more. Yeah, we're looking at the 2014 figure
I
we
was
have
like,
up there.
where is it?
Yeah, so so it kind of looks. It has a bit more of the maple leaf look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if he's been working out his traps more at the
I
gym,
know.
but his neck is like. But obviously, for the most part, it looks pretty much the same. But Mothra, your favorite? How does she look?
I mean, she looked amazing. I guess it's one of those things where moths are kind of like they're really pretty, but any insect up close is gross. But I think they did a good job of making her not look terrifying.
Yeah,
like because just insects in general, like when they're really like
zoomed in, it's like it's a bug. So
scary. But no, she looked great. That one like.
I know
awesome.
those wings. Rodan looks really cool. Looks like Rodan.
I know.
The
fucking Ghidorah.
I know, King Ghidorah. The silhouette we saw. That's the thing. They all look like they're supposed to, and I know they will, but they don't look like they're kind of the Hollywood version. They literally look like kind of the classic kaiju.
Ghidorah is obviously his traditional wings. They're very kind of I don't want to say cartoony. But you know what I mean? They're not like realistic wings, so I'm glad.
Well, they kind of change them a little. But again, these...
I mean, I feel like they would have had to, obviously.
Well, yeah. But these guys feel like what those kaiju would look like in, I guess 2019 when the movie comes out with like big budget CGI. It still looks and feels like them. Yeah. Basically the way Godzilla felt in 2014, and I know a lot of people were complaining that you didn't see a lot of them, fine. But when you did see him, it was Godzilla. It felt like that character. So this literally kind of looks like a bunch of old actors they kind of got out of retirement essentially and kind of brought back. So it's so crazy to see these monsters that I grew up watching in all these older movies, and now this is what it looks like seeing them all together now. Seeing Rodan, Mothra, Godzilla, and King Ghidorah in the same movie in 2019. What that looks like now, that looks amazing. And yeah, Rodan was awesome. I like that big thunderclap he did and just smashed that one plane.
Fucking tornadoes everywhere.
Yeah, well, I heard a lot of that too. Is Ghidorah basically creates a hurricane around him, like he disrupts the atmosphere around him. So wherever he is, there's essentially a hurricane. So he basically creates atmospheric disturbance. And I love they do the same with Rodan when he flies over something. Yeah. It's just like the sonic wave just destroys everything.
Will Mothra have that like her original?
I don't know what she's going to have. I know there was like a plot leak that apparently came out, and some people were debating whether it was real or not. I only gleamed a little bit from it because I didn't want to read too much in case they turned out to be true.
Yeah.
But actually, ironically enough, a lot of the stuff I kind of read a little bit of seems like it's happening. And I know some people said they didn't like what they read, but I'm like, I like the idea of like there's just basically the world is essentially ending. Gods are returning. These are essentially like modern day gods.
This looks like a D&D campaign.
Yeah, basically, right? A bunch of chromatic dragons, like. It's a chromatic conclave, but it kind of feels like so in a world where we're as high and mighty as we are. You have something on this level. I like how it's kind of reducing certain minds, almost like a tribal worship like mentality, where like in the modern age they will reduce humanities to groups who will once again kind of worship them as gods. So I like the idea that there is a scientist who's essentially saying like, you know what, we suck. We brought this on ourselves, and why not let them rule? Look at them. They're incredible. They deserve to be here, because if our only claim to ownership is that we're more powerful than anything else, well, these things are more powerful than us. So if that's the rule, if that's the mandate, then it's theirs. So I know, I like the idea that there is kind of they're almost bringing about like, an age of like, again, God worship that I think is kind of interesting and a cool dynamic. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I like what I'm saying, and it feels almost like a very kind of old school, almost Showa era kaiju style story. Like a scientist who's trying to bring about the kaiju and all. I don't know. It feels very classic. Golden age kaiju cinema. So, if someone doesn't like that, I'm like, well, yes, because that is the most far fetched thing we've ever seen in a Godzilla movie, people. But and all the people who thought the first movie was boring, oh, it's so boring and dull, well, here you go. No, but yeah, Michael Dougherty, writer director, did Krampus, Trick or Treat. I was really happy when I found that he was brought on board, because all his movies have character, a very distinctive sense of style. So I'm glad that that's showing up now in this movie. But anyway, I could go on and on and on. But,
and he will.
Yeah, and I will. But something tells me there'll be plenty more dropping of this movie from here on out for me to go on and on and on about. And I will. But anyway, guys, what did you think? Are you pumped? Are you excited? Is this, is this what you were hoping for? Or did you like the first movie and glad to see that they upped the ante? Sorry, I didn't mean to almost knock you out. Did you not like the first movie? Were you maybe in that camp that thought it was a little just too dry, too boring, and this maybe feels more like what you were hoping for? Regardless, give us your thoughts, let us know, and as always, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace!
Peace.